Honor Club, where honor is real.
Let's go, Nigel! Let's go, Nigel! Your belt backwards!
Come on, we're not ever saying tomorrow. You ain't beating me for this belt. Davey, he's going over here.
He doesn't deserve this.
Make him shake my hand. This is really wrong.
Don't do it,
It is main event time here in Pittsburgh. Dream partner tag team matchup as the ROH World Champion Nigel McGuinness and his partner Davey Richards square off against Kenta and one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions El Generico. Quite an icy stare between former teacher and protege Kenta and Davey Richards.
Yeah, there's a lot of history between those two men. This is a very good preview of tomorrow night's 7th anniversary show at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Not only the Nigel McGuinness versus Kenta match for the ROH World Championship tomorrow night, but also a preview of the World Tag Team title matchup. Tomorrow night it will be no disqualification between Steen and Generico and the American Wolves of Richards and his partner Eddie Edwards.
Davey Richards wasting no time sending a message to his former teacher, just kicking Kenta right off the apron.
Those are two men who love to throw kicks, and they're going to be kicking at one another during the course of this contest, without a doubt.
El Generico informing Davey Richards that he is the man inside the ring and needs to deal with him. And it's getting behind Generico here as he gets ready to lock up with Davey Richards. Roll him a knuckle lock. Davey Richards gonna back up. Make his way back between the ropes as El Generico starts to try and press the action. Referee backs Generico up, and Davey Richards extends the hand and tags in the Ring of Honor World Champion Nigel McGuinness.
And whichever of these four men is able to score a pinfall or a submission in this match gains a psychological advantage going into tomorrow night's event. Be it Davey Richards can maybe beat El Generico. Oh, he just got kicked to the floor by Generico.
A little bit of payback for Kenta by El Generico, but he turned his back on Nigel McGuinness. There's a blind tag. Flip dive to the floor, wiping out Richards, and Kenta with a leaping clothesline from the outside in. Reversal of the whip. Nigel went for a leapfrog and got kicked in the chest for his troubles. And Kenta and El Generico looking very good here in the early going.
Now getting behind Kenta here. One of his strengths is his kicking ability. And was able to nail that kick as Nigel was going for the leapfrog.
Looks like Nigel and Davey Richards were going for the exits, but Sarah Del Rey and Shane Hagedorn, the newly promoted Shane Hagedorn, the executive director of Sweet and Sour Incorporated,
head of ringside business, handling things. You know, Sarah Del Rey there to lend a helping hand or a helping hip attack from time to time if need be.
It's what you just normally describe as moral support, right?
Yes.
Come on, Kenta!
But Nigel McGuinness and Kenta, they have been on opposing sides in the past, namely in Japan. It was a three-way contest for the ROH World Championship. Nigel, Kenta, and BJ Whitmer.
That was back in May of 2008 on a Pro Wrestling Noah event. And Nigel, of course, retained the world title by taking down BJ Whitmer in that matchup. Kenta has his shot one-on-one against McGuinness tomorrow night in Manhattan. Right now, he's got control of the leg of the world champion. Nigel trying to free himself. Grabs control of the arm quickly into a cross arm breaker. Kenta trying to roll towards the body of Nigel McGuinness, gets himself a near fall, but makes it to the rope after Nigel kicks out and forces the break.
As I started to say earlier before Generico so rudely booted him to the floor, what if Davey Richards is able to, say, pin El Generico or make him tap out to the Kimura in this matchup? That will play some mind games as far as the World Tag Team Champions are concerned going into tomorrow night's defense of the Tag Team Championship, and KENTA getting very aggressive here with Richards.
Richards had better not be thinking about his match tomorrow night, because he certainly is going to have his hands full in this matchup right now.
What an exchange of forearms here.
To the gut, down goes Richards. Running kick, turns him inside out. Brings the crowd to their feet, makes the tag to El Generico, who quickly goes to the top. Cross body, but only two.
Fans need to stop singing. Davey Richards is trying to concentrate.
Drop kick to the back by Generico, quickly for the cover and only able to get two. Standing moonsault. And another 2 count for Generico. Shot to the midsection by Richards, backs Generico into his corner, where he gets an assist from the world champion Nigel McGuinness on the outside, opening Generico wide up. Holding Generico in the corner for Richards to do damage and then making the tag.
Tying up the referee while Davey Richards has got Generico on the floor.
Sends him crashing into the barricade.
A little bit of teamwork here from Richards and McGuinness. At least getting on the same page of keeping the referee occupied while the other does damage.
And two guys who are very good at bending the rules.
When need be, yes.
And the lock. Davey Richards gets into it with a fan in the front row right there. Makes the tag back in, headbutt to the shoulder. Work over the arm now of El Generico. Kicked in the back in a cover, and again, only two.
You know, this is an opportunity for Davey Richards to perhaps injure El Generico prior to tomorrow night. You know, if he was able to injure the man, gives them a decided advantage going into their opportunity to win the World Tag Team titles. We've seen the American Wolves already take out the knee of Kevin Steen. Imagine if, I don't know, maybe dislocate the shoulder of El Generico, maybe take out his neck, perhaps break a foot. That'd be nice, and he couldn't get a running start with that Yakuza. Break his foot.
I'm sure should Richards have that opportunity in this match, he will take full advantage of it as he drives the knee right to the midsection and then stops Generico from making the tag by knocking KENTA off the apron one more time. As now the world champion Nigel McGuinness takes control of Generico.
Quite a bit of history between McGuinness and El Generico as well. Generico had a few opportunities to win the ROH World title himself, but came up just short each time, including on our last pay-per-view, Caged Collision.
Nigel continuing to control the arm of El Generico and eliminating the quickness advantage, keeping Generico off of his feet. Trying to wear him down here. As Generico gets back to a standing position, trying to reach for his corner, but unable to get to KENTA. Handful of the tassels on the back of the mask by Nigel McGuinness, who now tags in Davey Richards.
I wonder how much the language barrier is going to come into play with Generico and KENTA being partners. Does KENTA speak Mexican?
Or French.
Yes. Not much communication will be going on between those.
Able to get two once again is Richards as he makes the tag to McGuinness. Holding Generico in position. Couple well-placed boots by the tandem of McGuinness and Richards. Landed knuckle lock as Generico trying to get back to his feet.
Say hello to your friend, pal, because you ain't going to tag him.
Very close again to making the tag, but firing carried into the wrong corner was Generico and gets caught with another boot from Richards.
Well, they're cutting the ring in half, keeping him away from Kenta, who has his arm outstretched. Who knows, maybe Kenta did study Canadian in school as a young boy in Japan.
Canadian is not a language.
Hey, watch your mouth. You talk to me,
Sure.
boy. I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that's all about.
Getting aggressive here, both Generico and Davey Richards. And ooh, another boot! Takes Kenta off the apron and down on the floor.
Come on. I got him. All right, Nigel, up here.
All the while, Nigel McGuinness had hold of the foot of one El Generico, keeping him trapped in their half of the ring. Richards right back over with a snap suplex and a cover, but failed to hook the leg and only got two. One more time, trying to force the shoulders down this time. And yet again, only gets two. One more time.
No! No!
Trying to power Generico's shoulders down to the mat. He's worked his way back to a standing position now.
Fans getting behind Generico here. He rolls through it, takes control of the wrists of Richards. Kicks away at one of the arms. Single-handed knuckle lock, overhand chop, and trademark El Generico with the swinging DDT. Now he needs to make the tag.
Trying to crawl toward Kenta. Richards trying to make his way to the world champion. Does tag Nigel.
As does Generico to Kenta, who drives the boot into Nigel McGuinness, who reverses the whip. Kenta to the ropes. Running chop knocks him down, and a clothesline as well. Boot to the gut. Places him stomach first, right across the top rope, and then kicking away at McGuinness. Quickly to the top rope goes Kenta. He drives the knee right across the back of the neck. Running kick. But only two.
Kenta full of energy here, trying to soften up McGuinness before the world title matchup tomorrow night.
Springboard missile drop kick. Running Yakuza in the corner. And another. McGuinness down in the corner. Drop kick right to the face.
Is it politically correct to call that a Yakuza kick when Kenta's delivering it? Oh, Fisherman Buster.
That's what it's called. Cover. McGuinness just barely able to kick out.
I mean, he might take offense to it. Has anyone asked?
I have not. McGuinness avoids a charging Kenta. Kick to the back and a clothesline. Cover. Again, this time Kenta gets the shoulder up at two.
And what does a Canadian luchador have to do with the Yakuza when Generico throws it?
I don't ask those questions.
Tower of London.
Blocked.
All the way across the ring comes McGuinness and runs into the boot. He just a boot, ran into the boot. Butterfly suplex.
I'm sure somewhere along the line of that question you get an answer somewhere along the lines of the one Dino Bravo got.
Wow. You actually went there.
You knew where you were taking me.
Well, into the ropes went McGuinness. Kenta back on his feet, waiting for the right moment to strike. With probably more kicks, not with a gun. Right into the elbow he charges.
And staying in the corner. But he's got McGuinness on his shoulders. Go to sleep. No, boot to the gut by Richards. Trying to save Nigel. Runs into the leg lariat.
Time to go to sleep? Or will the alarm clock wake him up? Ooh, sunset flip.
Shoulders down, but only two. London Dungeon. Nigel's got it locked in.
Nigel could do some damage to Kenta here the night before the title defense.
Kick to the head by Generico saves his partner.
Nigel trying to slap the hand of Davey Richards. He does. He's legal.
Clotheslines Generico all the way down to the floor, but turned his back on Kenta, who's back on his feet.
Once again, face to face they come. Teacher and student, if you will.
Come on, boy, let's see what you got.
Davey Richards studied the Japanese style of wrestling and really based the style that he has perfected here in 2009 around Kenta's.
Kenta drops down, Richards up and over, leapfrog, no. Richards caught him and just drove him into the corner, chops and headbutts by a very aggressive Davey Richards.
Well, he's trying to send a message that he is actually better than Kenta here in 2009.
Running clothesline off the ropes. Power slam by Kenta.
He was one step ahead of Richards right there.
Generico makes it back to the apron and the tag. Big splash. Cover. Couldn't hold him down. Richards to his feet, Kenta in the corner. But it's Richards getting the boot up instead. Block. Step up Enziguri. Michinoku driver. No.
Very, very close right there, but he kicked out the last split second.
Elevates Richards, who lands on his feet, waist lock.
Avoided the brainbuster.
Elbow from Generico, frees himself off the ropes, he goes. Arm clock, clothesline. Generico back up. German suplex with a bridge. No.
1, 2, 3.
Once again, only able to hold him down for 2.
You got him, Davey.
But a great combination there by Richards.
Needs to keep the ring cut in half. Keep Generico away from Kenta. DR driver, that's what he's got in mind. The butterfly brainbuster. Can he get the maneuver? Generico trying to block.
Tagged with one kick, but blocks the second. Elbow to the top of the thigh and a couple of forearms now by Generico. Backs Richards up. Hits the ropes, but Nigel hangs on to the top rope and Generico goes crashing down to the floor.
Combination of strikes from Kenta.
Dragon screw. Generico back inside the ring. Yakuza.
Canadian Mafia. Usaikuni, cover.
Only 2. All 4 men in the ring now. Big boot from Kenta on McGuinness. Lariat.
And he got all of that lariat, but it looks like Nigel may have done a little bit of damage to himself in the process.
Yakuza by Generico in the corner. Kenta catches him that time.
Generico dumped on his head in the corner. But Nigel looks to be in a bit of pain himself out on the apron as Kenta trying to pull himself up on the floor. All 4 men feeling the effects of a hard-fought tag team main event here tonight.
Nigel underneath the bottom rope. Trying to get back to his corner so Richards will be able to make the tag, but Nigel is in noticeable discomfort out on the apron.
Yeah, he threw that lariat and appeared to do just as much damage to his own arm as he did to his opponent.
This is that lariat attempt, and Nigel has been wrestling with a torn bicep already for several months now, not the one that he seems to be favoring right here, however.
Oh, look at the momentum coming from Kenta. Usaikuni.
But only 2.
Got a hands of Nigel able to kick out despite the pain.
What kind of effect is this going to have on him tomorrow night if this injury is serious? Another lariat from McGuinness and immediately down to a knee, grabbing at his arm, and Nigel McGuinness is having serious problems with that left bicep.
But he does have Kenta still stunned, and it looks like Nigel's still going to take a chance and climb to the top rope.
Kenta back to his feet. Leaps right to the top. Top rope Falcon Arrow. Richards with the save.
Breaking up that pin attempt. High impact maneuver from Kenta off the top. But only 2. He's signaling for the go to sleep.
Nigel across the shoulders. Blocks DDT.
Great counter by McGuinness. He is prepared for tomorrow night.
Places him up on the top turnbuckle. Connects.
Power of London off the top by McGuinness. Oh, but there's Generico to break up the pin.
Keep him out, Ref.
Richard sends Generico to the floor, leaving Kenta and Nigel inside the ring, pulls him to the center. London Dungeon.
Generico reverses the whip and sends Richards into the barricade, but Kenta's in trouble. Nigel's got the submission hold locked in. Generico under the bottom rope. Trying to make the save. But Nigel refusing to relinquish control. Oh, roll up!
Only two. Goes right back to work on the shoulder of Kenta.
Arm wringer right back into the London Dungeon. Nope, Kenta to his feet. Go to sleep!
Kenta just pinned the world champion!
In what could be a preview of tomorrow night's main event at the Hammerstein Ballroom in Manhattan at the 7th anniversary show, could it be the go-to-sleep from Kenta that earns him the Ring of Honor World title from an obviously injured Nigel McGuinness? We're going to have the answer to that question and many more tomorrow night in Manhattan. But tonight, your winners, El Generico and Kenta. For Dave Prazak, I'm Lenny Leonard. We'll see you tomorrow night in Manhattan.
Honor Nation, we heard you. Fantastic matches from Ring of Honor's 2010 archive are now exclusively on Honor Club. Relive history such as Tyler Black's championship run, Kevin Steen versus El Generico, the rise of Kenny Omega, the Kings of Wrestling versus the Briscoes, Roderick Strong, Christopher Daniels, Colt Cabana, and more. Sign up today at ROHHonorClub.com as we continue to add historic events from 2002 to 2010.